Hello, welcome into the official. We got a great show for you this week. We are back on the mock draft train. So, we had a really great response the first time we did a mock draft. We did rounds 1 and 2. 1 month, we did rounds 3 and 4. The next month, giving everyone about 48 players to keep an eye on in the 2024 class. We're running it back with mock draft 2.0, rounds 1 and 2. We're going to see if anybody changed positions or we have different opinions of players, or maybe in a lot of cases, new players have cropped up and we've been able to grade them and rank them in different ways. So I think this mock's going to look quite different than mock draft 1.0. And then, of course, we will go over all the recent commitments that are fantasy relevant in this past week or so. This is the official. All right, here we go. Got a brand new intro there from Jared, one of our folks here at C2C. He was playing around and gave a little animation. So hopefully everyone enjoyed that. If you're watching this on the YouTube, good to see you boys in here. Going to do mock draft 2.0. See if anybody changed positions from last time. Before we get started, this is of course the official. Wanted to bring to your attention the home field promotion we have going on. So we're now affiliated with homefieldapparel.com. Unfortunately, tonight I am wearing a plain blue shirt. This is not home field. Sorry, guys. But I've been wearing it recently on each show, and I have about 10 of their shirts. They make vintage-inspired quality collegiate apparel, basically, for many different sports and tons of colleges, ones you wouldn't even think of, including St. Peter's, who I believe made a Elite 8 or Sweet 16 run a few years ago. So they have tons of obscure schools, all the big name schools, and you should go check them out. Homefieldapparel.com, really comfy gear. And if you do Campus to Canton as a promo code and it's your first order, you will get 15% off your first purchase. So we're really happy to be part of their affiliate program. Also, check out campuscanton.com. You know that already. You've watched this show hopefully a million times. But, guys, are you ready to do some mock drafting?
You know it.
You know it. Born ready, right? Okay. I think last time I started with Matt, and he went Dylan Raiola number 1. So tonight I'm going to give David the honors to go number 1. See if anything has changed. We're going to go David, Matt, me. I get third place because I did not participate last time, so I'm jumping in here. But I will be drafting this time, so we'll have 3 drafters instead of 2. So that could shake things up a little bit as well. Without further ado, since we got a lot to cover here, David, who is your number 1? Is it the same old story at 101 here?
I'll just stick with Rayola. I was going to get kind of trollish and mix it up, but I'll just stick with him. He seems pretty clear at this point.
I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with that at all. But yeah, we don't really need to explain that. If you're familiar with the show, Dylan Raiola, he's everyone's number 1. He's a big, strong-armed, daring quarterback who can hit every part of the field. Matt, give me your 102 2024 mock draft here.
Yeah, this is also a pretty easy pick. That's not going to need too much explanation. I'm going to take Micah Hudson here. He's consensually our top wide receiver. I know, the services aren't quite as high on him, but we love him here. I think he's solid. Pretty can't miss player. Yeah, straightforward.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I think it's the same first 2. Now, am I going to throw a wrench into this plan here? Picking at 3. And I know who went 3 last time. Man, and I might have to change it up, even though my heart wants to pick the same guy who went last time, which was, I believe, DJ Lagway. I think I'm going to go with my favorite receiver. I don't know if he'll make it back to me. He probably would. Sorry, I am unprepared, I guess, for this. I'm going to go with Draylon Miller. He's my favorite receiver, not named Micah Hudson right now. This is probably a little bit early. You can see plus 13, but he's just a guy I have graded very high and don't love it. A lot of the running backs and some of the quarterbacks have started to drop for me a little bit. I'll probably scoop some up later, but I'm just going to take my guy here that's throwing everything off, but that's all I can really do. Back to David for pick 4.
So same scenario as last time, where I'm deciding between the two Ohio State wide receivers. I actually have Mylan Graham graded slightly higher than Jeremiah Smith. The services are obsessed with Jeremiah Smith.
They are.
I feel like they're probably smarter than me. I'm an idiot. So last time I hedged and went with Jeremiah Smith, but I think I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna go to Mylan Graham and go with the guy I have graded a little bit higher.
Okay, Mylan Graham. Yeah, get your guy. So he's picked one spot ahead of last time. Not too bad. I'm the freaking wild card. I think that's par for the course. Matt, we're up to you for the 105.
Yeah, and we're in the same exact situation as last time. I was going to take whichever Ohio State receiver he did not take, so I'll take Jeremiah Smith. And another pretty self-explanatory pick. I'm not quite as high on him as the services, but it's hard to pass on someone so highly regarded at this point.
Fair enough. I think that's fine. Yeah, and so basically, yeah, we're tracking along almost the same way here, with a little bit of some differences. Oh man. Okay, so I do want to add some QBs to my list here. I just feel like you guys are smart though. I mean, I'm not drafting with like an average drafting pool, so I should probably just take the guy I like, because you never know when anybody's going to go off the board here. It could go quarterback, but I think actually I'm going to go with a running back here. I'm going to go Cam Davis because he's a little bit of an odd grade. He plays, the Wildcat quarterback right now, but he just seems big, fast. Like he's going to wind up a top 2, top 3 running back in this class. I think he's got a tremendous upside, and that FSU offense is, much to my dismay, coming around and could be pretty good over the next few years. So give me Cam Davis. I think he's got bell cow type potential. Back to David for the 107.
Yeah, that's the guy I was going to take. So I'm going to scramble a bit here. Between two wide receivers, I think to be different this time, I'm going to go with Mike Matthews. So apparently he's leaning towards Tennessee, which I just like. I just really like that landing spot for college production. But yeah, he's an interesting player. 6'6.5", but he's got like a 6'6" wingspan, so he's got a real nice frame. He's at 180 pounds right now, but he does play basketball in the off season, so getting a lot of cardio there. I expect him to fill out his frame and get to 190 plus eventually. And he has a verified 4.45, but really this pick is hoping that he selects Tennessee.
Yeah, he's got he's well over 21 miles per hour, I believe, in our database. He's very fast. I have issues with him as a complete receiver, but yeah, I can't argue with Tennessee factor for the CFF side at the very least. And the surfaces seem to really like him. He gets a bump. He's the most even drafted more out of place than Draylon Miller this week. 15 spots ahead of where he was last time. So Mike Matthews gets a huge bump. Matt, are you still playing it conservative, or are you going to make some wild pick here?
No, I don't think it's too wild. I'm just going to go with DJ Lagway. One of the highest ceiling players in this class. Had a up and down season last year. Definitely has some concerns in terms of how refined of a prospect he is, but it's an upside pick, and I'm willing to take it.
Okay, so I am up here 109, and again, some of these guys, it's like, am I taking this too early? But I'm gonna go Luke Kromanowick. I know that we have people on this team that like him quite a bit. He's about to perform in the Elite 11. And holy crap, I just picked 2 Seminoles back to back. Don't let my Seminole friends see this video, please. But, I like those players. And I took a look at Luke Kromanowick, just a few weeks ago. And I was like, man, yeah, he's really pretty interesting. I think he's got a very high upside with the rushing and passing and arm. capabilities. And so we'll see if he's a big riser coming out of that Elite 11 here. Maybe this turns out into a value pick after all, even though he's 20 spots ahead of last time. All right, David, back to you for the 110.
I'll go with Cam Coleman. I picked him last time. He's probably going to be top 10 on the freaks list. And I think he's like one of the 5 youngest players to pick from too. So I just like his upside. So I'll go with Coleman.
All right, I like it.
See, I'm just going to keep being boring here. Julian Sayin is, the top quarterback on the board. He probably should have gone by now. I think in most drafts he realistically would have. In my opinion, there's 4 quarterbacks you want to grab in the first round, and 2 of them are still available, so I'll take one of them in Sayin.
That leaves me with, Sayin fell 4 spots from last time. That leaves me with who is the other one that I should take in terms of a value pick here, but it's depending on what you like. And I bet I know who it is for you, but let's see. I'm just going to add some running backs here. Another guy who is a difficult evaluation because he wasn't even, he by far wasn't really even the leading rusher on his team. But his tape looks really good. He's ranked very high. And the other rusher on his team, just so happens to be the number 1 player number running back in the 2025 class. I don't like taking an older guy who can't beat out a younger guy. But Nathaniel Frazier seems to be a very exciting prospect. He's got pretty decent size, extremely fast, change of direction, acceleration. And, let's just hope that his senior year looks a little better. Or he's the one that breaks the mold for like not handling a workload and then in college handles the workload. So that rounds out the first round. Let's do this real quick. Dylan Raiola the same, Micah Hudson the same. So the top 2 for our group are the same. I picked Draylon Miller at the 3rd. That was higher than he went last time by almost a full round, but he is one of my favorite receivers, him and Hudson. Mylan Graham, great choice for David. Jeremiah Smith. Cameron Davis, a little bit ahead of last time, but just a good, well-built running back you can count on for Balcow. Then we have Mike Matthews, who got a 15-spot bump. DJ Lagway took a hit. He's down 5 from last time. Chrome Nork, 20-point bump from last time, or 20-position bump. Cam Coleman, -2 from last time. Julian Sayin, -4. And Nathaniel Frazier, a 6-position drop from last time, where he was taken about in the middle of the first. Okay. I guess I lead off the second round here, it looks like, because we're doing a bit of a snake. I'm going to take another running back here. One of my favorite guys, Braylon Russell. I really like Braylon Russell. Just adding really huge guys, these big running backs. I think Frazier, Russell, all 3 that I have, and Cam Davis are all over 200 pounds. Russell graded out really high for me. I think he's a good runner. He shows a little bit of hands, but I think he's a really good runner, and he's like 220 pounds already, so sign me up. David, you are up with the 202. No, Matt, sorry, no, Snake. We're going backwards. Matt, you're up with the 202.
Yeah, I really hate doing this, but I'm just going to have to grab that last quarterback. I'll take Aaron Noland here, quarterback Ohio
I had a
State.
feeling it was going to be Noland, yeah.
He just feels like such a safe pick at this stage. I would be kind of surprised at this point if he isn't the next heir apparent at Ohio State. And just a good system, good quarterback, lots to like there.
That's awesome. I mean, you think that I guess Keinholz doesn't stand in his way.
I think he's a good bit better talent. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, Aaron Noland, the heir apparent, no pun intended. And then David to give us 203.
I'll go with Taylor Tatum here. He's pretty high on my board. Well-rounded running back. Don't know where he's headed. I think it looks like USC or Oklahoma. But he was like my next highest graded running back available.
Okay, back to me. I should probably add some receivers to my database here. I had Draylon Miller. Cam Coleman's gone. I really do like him. I think I got to go with my guy, Bubba Hampton. And, he was on I'm just jacking up the ADP here so much. Um, he was on my he was on a podcast. We interviewed him last year. Seems like a cool guy, but down to Texas and Bam. I don't think he's chosen yet, but he's kind of just like that really fast, small wide receiver that I like. I think last time when David selected him in the third or fourth round, he was like, "This is your classic pick." So he grades really high for me. I'm just going by my grades here, really. I'm not trying to necessarily game the ADP. So 22 points higher than last time. I'm just taking all these crazy guys. Matt, you're up with the 205.
I'll take Jaden Riddell here, tight end. He's pretty consensusly our top tight end here. Super athletic guy, really good downfield threat. Just committed to Georgia. Ton to like there.
Absolutely. David, 206.
I'm gonna take another running back, I guess. I kind of trashed this guy on a previous show. I didn't mean to. I feel like I sounded too negative, but Matt kind of talked me into Quentin Martin a little bit here.
Mm,
Was listed at 185. I think that's been updated. I think he's 200 plus, which is like, a huge boost. I've seen him listed at 205 in some spots. But I'm going to take another running back with a well-rounded skill set, can catch passes, and look, that's good for fantasy. I don't know if people know that. That's good for fantasy.
it's good for fantasy. Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about him. He's an interesting athlete, kind of plays a lot of different positions in high school and could absolutely pan out at Penn State. So I'm going to go with a guy I just recently took a look at recently, and he graded pretty high for me. That's he's a 5-star, but I think he was drafted pretty low for us. Bryant Westco. Actually, no, this is actually a value. He was drafted in the early second round last time, and now I'm getting him at 207. Feel pretty good about this. So adding another receiver to my group here, and I think this is a nice value. And I came away pretty impressed with his tape, to be honest with you. And going to Clemson, I think is a good fit there. So I actually have a value pick rather than taking some guy 30 spots too early. Matt, you're up.
Um, uh, See, I really want to take Quentin Martin here, but David just snatched him up for me,
Mm.
and I don't want to reach on our running back. Uh, I'm just gonna keep going quarterback, Colin Hurley, since you guys won't take them. Quarterback
All right.
LSU, youngest player in the class, rocket arm. Hopefully, he shows out tomorrow at the Lee 11, or this could be a bad pick.
Colin Hurley, a little higher than last time, but not too bad. Rising up your ranks. I know he's your sleeper pick for the Elite 11, I believe, right? So, you know, you're sticking to your guns there. David, 209 here.
I'm going to go with Aaron Butler. I already have a bunch of receivers, but let's just add another one in the mix here. He's listed as an athlete. From everything we've read, he's going to play receiver for Colorado. But I don't know. We kind of touched on him last. He's a pretty well-rounded player. Moves real well and is good after the catch.
Okay. I'm going to take Ryan Puglisi here. We did not draft him last time. I'm really impressed with this guy. I don't think he stays at Georgia. I think he's going to go somewhere by the end of this whole cycle and maybe be a starter right away or in the first year. I mean, he seems very polished, rocket arm, a little mobility. I mean, he's not a statue back there. I think he contributed somewhat on the ground in high school. I just came away really impressed with his motion and his arm strength and his ability to like really hit accurate passes in windows that many quarterbacks wouldn't even try. So he's moved up my board. I like this guy quite a bit. It's crazy that Georgia ends up signing both of these guys. Rich get richer. Hopefully he ends up decommitting and going somewhere where he can start sooner than he would at Georgia. I guess we're circling back to Matt here.
All right, I'm going to squeeze him in just because I want to take at least one running back here. I'll take Kedron Young, just committed to Notre Dame the other week. Super athletic guy, playing from middle-sized school out of Texas, but huge upside, and I'll take him here at the back end of the second.
Okay, yeah, good one. That's a little value. Dropped 5 spots from last time. but still right in that range. And now you know he's going to Notre Dame. We didn't know that last time. I think that's a bonus. So nice value there, actually, with the landing spot baked in. You still got a value. David, 212, end it for us tonight.
Oh, this is the last pick, huh? All right. I'll go with let's go back to back Notre Dame. I'll take a little homer pick here. Go with CJ Carr.
Wow, we didn't pick him at all last time.
Yeah, I know. You guys had multiple quarterbacks. I went with Walker White last time. I figured I'll mix it up. Go with CJ Carr and I gotta root for my guy, I guess, right? So
yeah,
I got him and Rayola as my quarterbacks.
Yeah, still pretty exciting quarterbacks left on the board. And when we run this thing back in the third and fourth round, there's still guys I'm targeting that I can see right now. Plenty of talent to go around. But let's see. So that wraps it up. Let's recap here. And I'll send a tweet out later this week. But we've got David, who picked first. He went Dylan Raiola, Mylan Graham, Mike Matthews, Cam Coleman, Taylor Tatum, Quentin Martin, Aaron Butler, CJ Carr. So that's team number one. Matt picked number two, Micah Hudson, Jeremiah Smith, GJ Lagway, Julian Sand, Aaron Nolan, Jalen Riddell, Colin Hurley, Kedron Young. And then I went with Draylon Miller, Cam Davis, Luke Kromanoic, Nathaniel Frazier, Braylon Russell, Aaron Hampton, Bryant Wesco, and Ryan Puglisi. I think most people on Twitter would say my team stinks because I have all the guys who are probably not rated as high by the services. But we'll throw a little Twitter graphic out there, see who won this draft according to our followers. Now, let's get into some commitments. There's some interesting guys this week that have pledged to various colleges. Let's start with, a Power 5 guy that I know you wanted to mention, and I looked at his tape. I was kind of impressed as well. But, Matt, what do you think about Josiah Martin to Boston College? Interesting, coming out of Texas, going to Boston College.
Yeah, Martin's he's an interesting guy. He's been clocked at 23 miles per hour en route in game by Titan Sports, which we're not 100% sure about their times yet. They don't exactly correlate with some of ours, but either way, he was definitely going fast that play. He's kind of a skinny guy that's going to get open pretty easily at the next level. Not the best after the catch, but I could live with it. I think he'd be pretty decent at the next level, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's very similar to what I saw. Interesting, he's out of Denton Guyer, which was where Jackson Arnold had been throwing him passes up until this coming year. So he was able to benefit from quite a good quarterback, but he was their second leading receiver, I believe, second to a senior. So this year he could really blow up. Committed to Boston College. Who wants to take the Colorado State commitments? Corey Hall and Darius Curry. Matt, feel free to jump in. I know you kind of know some of these deeper guys, but David, I think you have some opinion on Corey Hall, if I recall correctly.
It's been such a long time since I've watched him. I don't know. I didn't know we were going to talk about Corey Hall. I had no clue. So
okay, Matt, the Colorado State guys.
Yeah, he's a bigger possession guy. One of the most productive receivers in the country this year. I think we got him at 21 flat miles per hour, which is great at that size. So he's definitely an interesting sleeper. And Colorado State's someone we've been watching a bit because they've been putting out some interesting offers on guys that we like. And Darius Curry, I don't have a ton on, but great CFF spot. I've watched him briefly. I'm pretty sure he had pretty high end production out of California. So someone to keep an eye on. Someone potential CFF stud in the future.
Okay, and I like that. You mentioned CFF. So we're talking about commitments to Colorado State. That's probably not going to translate to like a lot of NFL potential, but we do play that college fantasy side in C2C leagues. So Corey Hall and Darius Curry go into a probably very fantasy-friendly offense. They had some clunkers to begin the year, but they're basically taking that Nevada offense, if you remember from years ago with Carson Strong and multiple 1,000-yard receivers, to Colorado State. The coaching staff transferred basically, and they were not great last year, but I think there's still a lot of potential. So good call there. Bryce Kane, 3-star wide receiver, headed to Auburn. Matt, I think you had something to say, and you can just throw in Harry Stewart as well. I know you want to talk about both of those guys committing this week. Stewart to Kansas, Kane to Auburn.
Yeah, Kane is interesting because he's crazy fast. I'm surprised he didn't end up with an Alabama offer because he legit has, probably high 4.3 speed. I clocked him at 4.43, but once it comes around combine time, if he does end up going, I think he's a pretty easy lock as a 4.3 guy, and he's not even that tiny too. I think he's 6 foot 170 around there, so average size, crazy speed, definitely somebody to keep an eye on. And then Harry Stewart, another freak athlete. I forget, 800 meters, something like that, and over 21 miles per hour at 200 plus. That's something you always like to see. Not the most productive last season. Pretty big red flag in his profile, which is why I'm not going to have him super high, considering the size and speed. But I think Kansas is a pretty good spot. I mean, he's good chance he could end up the starter there eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you love a Power 5 school that's going to get some exposure, and also that there is a open depth chart once Devin Neal moves on. And, that offense is going to be run friendly. That is absolutely potential for CFF side stuff there. So good looking out. All right, gentlemen, we did our mock draft 2.0 part 1. Look for part 2, which rounds 3 and 4 next month, and a bunch of content in between. We got a lot of planned for you. So stick with the official, and we will keep bringing you 2024 content. We'll do an Elite 11 wrap-up probably, and hopefully have a winner of the projection, who's going to finish in that top 11 that we did last week. Go back and check that video out if you haven't already. This has been the official.